Let's take you to Manshia, where the Otumfo is launching a media capacity building program.
Of course, the President's representative in Ashanti region, affectionately called the Working Minister, Honorable Simon Osei Mensah, the Ashanti Regional Minister. We've gathered here because of a particular initiative that he decided to share with the rest of the world. Very few leaders visualize the challenges ahead and plan to solve the challenges ahead. And this is the brainchild of the Minister of Information, the Honorable Kojo Opon Nkrumah. Thank you so much for this big initiative. And on this note, I would like to invite the Honorable Ashanti Regional Minister to give us the welcome address. A round of applause to the Honorable Regional Minister, the working one.
Your Royal Majesty, Otumfo Osei the Second, the Asante, the Honorable Minister for Information, Honorable Kojo Opon Nkrumah, the Honorable Deputy Minister for Information, Honorable Members of Parliament here present, Your Excellency, the U.S. Ambassador to Ghana, Madam Stephanie S. Sullivan, the Chief Director, Minister of Information, the Chairman of the Media Commission, Directors of the Ministry, Heads of institutions and agencies here present, our development partners, members of the Media Capacity Enhancement Committee, presidents and representatives of media associations here present, my good friends from the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Ashanti Regional Coordinating Council and the people of Ashanti region, it was my present duty to welcome you to Kumasi and to the Manshia Palace for the official opening of the 4-day Maiden Media Capacity Program, which is aimed at building the skills and capacities of the media fraternity here in Kumasi. I also welcome the resource persons, both from Ghana and the international community. I wish to commend the Ministry of Information for the choice of Kumasi to host this important meeting edition. Most importantly, I express my sincerest gratitude to the Asante Otumfo Osei II for consenting to hold this meeting program on the premises of the Manshia Palace, making it very symbolic. Your Royal Majesty, we are very grateful to you. To the Honorable Minister for Information and his team, I applaud you for this initiative and your tireless efforts. Nananom, ladies and gentlemen, we are all gathered here this morning as stakeholders to support the Ministry of Information to execute this excellent program for the media, which I believe will go a long way to improve the quality of news delivery in this country. This program is as critical to the future of journalism as it is to the enhancement of Ghana's democracy. The role of the Ghanaian media in all facets of this country's development is indispensable. There is therefore the need for broadcasters to adopt innovative ways of exercising utmost professionalism and responsibility in the conduct of their work. Sound and professional journalistic practices and standards will have to be enhanced to ensure that the media is made responsible, responsive, and alive to holding the government responsible and accountable to the people as envisioned under Article 162, Clause 5 of the 1992 Republican Constitution. Indeed, let me say that the Media Capacity Enhancement Program has been introduced at the right time, and if sustained, It will contribute to the streamlining media practice and sanitizing the whole media landscape. In fact, the media plays a very critical role in this our democratic dispensation. However, there are times some indulge in extremism, inaccurate information, and sometimes total false presentations. I'm of the strongest conviction that such training programs will minimize such unfortunate practices. Your Royal Majesty, Nananom, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, with an objective to promote high ethical behavior and professionalism among journalists in Ghana's media space, I'm confident that this capacity building program will commit to making journalists diligent professionals. Professional journalism will also ultimately ensure that the freedom and independence guaranteed for the fourth esteem of the realm under Chapter 12 of the 1992 Constitution is not abused. It is expected that it will be used in a very productive and responsible manner that will promote peace and national unity for the development of this country. Your Royal Majesty Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II, the Asantehene, Nananom, Honorable Minister of Information, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Ashanti Regional Coordinating Council, the good people of Ashanti Region, and on my own behalf, I once again welcome you all to the maiden session of the Media Enhancement Capacity Program. And I'm confident that the best practices and knowledge imbibed will be applied to that advancement of our national development. On this note, I wish you fruitful and interactive sessions. Thank you for your kind attention, and may the Almighty God bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The Working Minister, Honorable Simon Osei-Mensah, for the wonderful delivery. Your Majesty, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the President of PRIMPAC, Mr. Andrew Edwin Arthur, here with us. Thank you so much for being here with us. And of course, the Director General of GBC, Professor Anim Alhassan. Let's also recognize the presence of the Chair of the Committee on Communication and Information, Honorable Cynthia Manley Morrison. And then we say thank you for also having this opportunity to be with us, the President of GIBA, the Ghana Independent Broadcasting Association, Mr. Cecil Sunkwa Mills. We say thank you to the Executive Secretary of the National Media Commission, Mr. George Sapon, and the President of the Ghana Journalists Association, Mr. Afol Moni. Thank you so much. And anytime that he promised that he will travel with you, make sure you don't delay. The President of the Institute of Public Relations Ghana, Mauko Afajenu. Thank you so much. And of course, our darling, Oanono, international engineer of KMA Urban Roads, Director of Engineer Nana Opuku Ajiman. Japane Piao. And I believe that the Honorable Regional Minister, your speech might be the longest one. The rest will be just a short remark, very brief remark. But I'd like to invite the chair of this important program, the Media Capacity Enhancement Program, the chair, to actually give us the objective, the main objective of this particular project. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the chair, Professor Kwamina Kwansa Edu, and he happens to be director for the Ghana Institute of Journalism.
Your Royal Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, Honorable Kojo Oponkroma, Minister of Information, and other honorable ministers here present, Your Excellency Stephanie S. Sullivan, USA Ambassador to Ghana, and heads of missions to Ghana, the Mayor of the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, presidents of media associations here present, members of the Oversight Committee of the Media Capacity Enhancement Program, members of the Working Committee, participants in this maiden training program, the media fraternity here gathered, ladies and gentlemen, good morning once again. It is a distinct honor and pleasure for me to be given the opportunity to say a few words at this morning's opening ceremony of the maiden training section under the Media Capacity Enhancement Program, or the MCEP for short. Media today are so omnipresent that it is difficult to imagine how previous societies lived without them. They have become a catalyst for different kinds of social transformation across the globe. In today's world, old and new media combine as a site of influence, control, and innovation, the primary means through which information essential to the working of most social institutions is transmitted. The media provide multiple fora for public debates, spaces in which various groups and institutions struggle over ideologies and the definition and construction of social reality. They are a major site for the definition of meaning, a place where the changing culture and values of society and groups are constructed and also reproduced or even changed. Within the Ghanaian context, the media represents some of the most important conduits for generating, gathering, and disseminating information amongst the citizens. Their core mandate of information, entertainment, and education means that they have a primary duty to help generate transformative change through facilitating access to appropriate and credible information, and must not act in any way that curtails or jeopardizes the right of citizens to access that information or their right to express themselves freely. Notwithstanding, many independent observers have noted that the workings of the Ghanaian media leaves much to be desired, particularly when one considers the role envisaged for the media in the 1992 Constitution. Our media are confronted with multiple and multifaceted problems, but key amongst them are capacity challenges, declining professionalism, and an ensuing increase in disregard for ethics, all of which affect the quality of media output. These challenges have inevitably resulted in waning public trust and confidence in the media and press freedom in the country. This situation is especially concerning because it will have a detrimental effect on the media's ability to effectively play their watchdog role and to help generate transformative change through facilitating access to appropriate and credible information. These concerns are what led to the conceptualization of the Media Capacity Enhancement Program and concomitantly today's gathering. The principal objective of the Media Capacity Enhancement Program is encapsulated in the theme, equipping the media to play an effective role in our nation-building agenda. The program is intended to help address the capacity challenges faced by the media, to position it to play its role effectively as the fourth estate in our governance system, and to support our quests for improvement in all aspects of our national life. Some of the specific objectives include the following: improvement in qualitative and effective reportage, increased professionalism in the conduct of both media personnel and media houses, awareness and increased desire and skills in how to hold duty accountable, Specialization in areas such as education, health, sports, etc., for deeper understanding and effectiveness. Naturally, this program has target beneficiaries. So the target beneficiaries are reporters, correspondents, commentators, producers, directors, media executives, anchors, editors, program directors, production team, that is video, motion, camera, sound, light technicians, owners of media organizations, media critics, analysts, and civil society organizations. So there is a place for most in this program, or under this program. Naturally, every program expects some results. So the expected results or the following specific outputs and outcomes are expected to be derived from the implementation of this initiative as we are doing today. We seek to provide continuous on-the-job training at regular intervals for over 900 members of GJA, GIBA, PRIMPAC, and other media practitioners to improve their skills. We seek to support targeted training targeted at content creation for media practitioners. We also seek to provide a regular platform to support media introspection on subjects related to media management, corporate governance, and media business models. We seek to encourage ethical journalism practice, and we seek also to support practitioners, media practitioners, to undertake specialized training in chosen fields. Ultimately, the program's aim is to enhance the existing knowledge base, skill set, and qualitative output of media personnel by taking them through a curriculum determined based on a needs and gap assessment conducted by consultants with intimate knowledge of the Ghanaian media scene, constituting the Media Capacity Enhancement Program Working Committee, chaired by myself, and in consultation with media personnel currently on the job. A successful implementation of the whole program is expected to bring about significant transportation in the media landscape in Ghana. As a media and communication academic, my mini address here would not be complete without a quote or two. So to conclude, I would like to stay true to type and quote Wilson et al., who point out that we live in a world where the quality of information we receive largely determines our choices and ensuing actions, including our capacity to enjoy fundamental freedoms and the ability for self-determination and development. Tere also notes that at the heart of any successful nation-building effort is the ability of citizens and state institutions to have access to accurate information, to freely express themselves, contribute intelligently to public discourse, and to shape public policy on the basis of reliable information. And in those two coruscating observations lie the motivation of the Media Capacity Enhancement Program in seeking to provide not just a conceptual framework, but an action plan and veritable training regimen where media personnel can be provided with the requisite information and skills that will enable them to become the necessary catalyst that the nation needs them to be. The training is expected to help them to be competent, knowledgeable, and discerning processors and producers of information who will contribute effectively to our country's efforts at charting a course of political and socio-economic transformation, epitomized by political accountability, good governance, peaceful coexistence, national unity, and equitable socio-economic development. Thank you.
Thank you so much. A bigger round of applause for the chair. And over the years, the chair has been working with Professor Eric Opoku-Mensah, Ms. Gloria Herji, Mr. Romoni Dodu-Labi, David Kobla Tamaklo, Mr. Henry Ni Dote, Mrs. Mamle Andrews, and Mrs. Patricia Dovi Sampson. A round of applause for the members of the committee. Nana, what did you Chiriano? Say TV for no akachere me say yana e de sum eto speakers no so enti ye be plan say omogina awie no musa e da say ye fan some book say e ma our umbrella bearer. Thank you so much. So our speakers, now you have to suffer under the sun, small one big keke. We are still live on the station of the nation, GTV. We are live on JoyNews, Metro TV, Net 2, Kesben, Wontumi TV, Assassin Radio, Asampa FM, Love FM, Gold City Radio, the Ministry of Information Platforms. And now we have a stipulated time to be on air. So the next speeches will be just a brief remark. And I'd like to invite the chairman of the National Media Commission to give us a brief remark.
Yeah, thank you, Kwame. His Royal Majesty the Otumfuo Osei Tutu II. It is a privilege today that I'm standing here on the grounds of the palace to speak to Ghanaians. And I am, selfishly, I am proud that we're launching this program at the feet of Otumfuo. But the other side of it is that as chairman of the National Media Commission, we are enthusiastic about any attempt to give capacity to the media people in this country. Because the more professional that the journalist works, the easier the obligation that is imposed on us. And therefore, left to us, we wish that our journalists perform at perfect level so that the commission will have very little. And it is also necessary because when they do that, then they will make an impact on the people and they will get the recognition that they deserve. Now, to the participants, somebody has said that when you put your hand into your pocket and take money and spend on knowledge, no one can take it from your head. And that investment in training is the best investment that anybody can make in the self. And therefore, this is an opportunity for you. And indeed, this is resonated by the Holy Prophet Muhammad, who has said that learning for an hour is more important than praying for a day. Now, if you understand the philosophy of prayer within the Islamic calendar, then you may appreciate what the Holy Prophet means when he says that learning for an hour is far more important than praying for a whole day. I mean, we are very, very grateful to all of you. We do hope that at the end of the day, those who are the first batch, the first cohort under this training program, are going to distinguish themselves such that Ghanaians will be clamoring that the program should be sustained. Because if they fail, there may be despondence. And that's why I am challenging you that please let us do it and let the people of Ghana feel that this investment in us had not been in vain and that you did not enter into this hallowed ground for nothing. You owe the people of this country a responsibility. Indeed, for us at the National Media Commission, it is becoming increasingly clear that sometimes modernity and culture, there are frictions within that, and there are a number of cases that are coming before us where traditional authorities are finding it a little bit uncomfortable because of the way some of the media are practicing. And indeed, it is our plan. And Nana, the National Media Commission may be coming to you to seek your judgment, your discernment, and in dealing with the matter of the media, tradition, and culture, so that we can have a relationship that will be more enduring. Because culture makes us. And if we forget about our culture, we will be lost. And if in the attempt at introducing modern trends, we frown upon our culture or we downgrade our cultural practices, that it means that we are losing our identity as Ghanaians. And we need to work together and see how we can do that. So now when the time comes, we shall come before you, and as usual, we know that you will not turn us down because of your exceptional gift of bringing people together. I do hope that it will be a worthy beginning, and I am thankful to all those who have sacrificed their time and energy in putting this program together. We only hope that we will do them good by practicing ethical journalism, so that when they wake up wherever they are, at the end of this training, everyone will stand up and hold their chest out and feel proud that when we went to the Asante Hines Palace at Manshia, the outcome has been positive, and the impact is so great that Ghanaian journalism will never go back. Thank you very much. God bless us all.
Thank you so much, the chairman of the National Media Commission, Mr. Yao Boadu Ayeboafo. Now we invite the president of the Ghana Journalists Association, Mr. Afomoni, to give us a brief remark. A round of applause for our president. Mr. President, you have all your speech on that? Then you wouldn't be brief.
Don't panic, Mr. MC. Your Royal Majesty, Ministers of State, U.S. Ambassador to Ghana, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. At long last, what was perceived as a distant dream or dismissed as an inflated rhetoric is unfolding into historic reality. Accordingly, GJA is profoundly grateful to the government of Ghana as an indispensable stakeholder in the media for its staggering sponsorship package. The planning committee led by GIGA Director Professor Kwanzaa Edu and his team of resource persons also deserve the highest commendation for their boundless energy and scholarly input into the program. While at the pinnacle of gold and in the precinct of the golden stool, permit me, Your Royal Majesty, to sprinkle a gold dust of appreciation on our Secretary Minister, Honorable Kojo Ponkrumah, for his singular vision and tenacious commitment to professional excellence, culminating in a series of training programs and desirable marriage between industry and academia. This twin initiative, without doubt, is unprecedented in scope and unparalleled in depth since 1982, when journalism began in the then Gold Coast, now Ghana. A dazzling journalist as he was, and a budding politician as he is, Honorable Nkrumah's place in the history of journalism in Ghana is definitely assured. If today, Tofiakwa, the president, decides to reshuffle him, he will leave with his chest out and his head high because he has something of monumental value to show the present and future generations of journalists. We recall with utmost pride that in 2015, the Otumfuo journeyed by road from Kumasi to Accra to address the GJA Awards. The observations he made and recommendations he gave are still a reference point for the media. Today, we are profusely grateful to Otumfuo, the veritable friend of the GJA and unwavering supporter of the media, for his gracious art of condescension, which has made it possible once again to drink from the fountain of his Solomonic wisdom. It is trite knowledge that the enhancement program is taking place at a time when confidence in the media is on the wane and perpetration of mediocrity is on the rise. In terms of professional standards, many journalists are starved to the gills, others are rotten to the core. While some display innovative spark and distinctive qualities, many operate in stagnant pools which reflect hackneyed styles and immanent output. The finest opportunity, therefore, beckons to move the paradigm and change the narrative of journalism in Ghana. More specifically, we are gratified that the training series designed to sharpen the reporterial flair, editorial craftsmanship, analytical power, and creative thinking of the participants, so that they will not only operate to make a living, they will also be living to make a difference. Research shows that the average engineer loses 20% of his or her knowledge every year, if not updated. Journalists are not immune from this reality. Their logical response, therefore, is to train and retain all journalists as resources would allow. Thus, should be complemented by heuristic means to achieve an overall quality in media output. And Landers teaches us that the naked truth is better than a well-dressed lie. And the naked truth is that most media houses and individual journalists are too financially disabled to meet their critical training or self-development needs. Like the signature free SHS program, we hope the free media capacity enhancement program has come to stay to help fix the capacity deficit and hone the professional skills of beneficiaries. Thus, we eventually crystallize into a system which will be a crucible for media credibility, media responsibility, and media accountability. Before the program is extensively rolled out, we hasten to urge that the practice of journalism in its rawest form must stop. Thus relates to unprintable insults, indecent dictions, inelegant comment, and unnecessary noise, which makes some practitioners and their outlets trend for wrong reasons. The experts tell us that anything without humor is almost inhuman, and good humor is a mark of high intelligence. Indeed, we love programs, Indeed, we love programs spiced with humor and enjoy discussions leavened with proverbs. However, this point can hardly be articulated. Excessive injection of jocularity and proverbization in news in particular, and other serious programming is problematic. Such breezy ethical breaches add tinder to the anger of media critics and make forgiveness of our professional sins hellishly difficult. Furthermore, the GJ wants the media to promote civility in public discourse and champion healthy debate of national issues, bearing in mind that debates are the lifeblood of liberal democracy such as ours. In the process, the media should tone down their partisan slants and blatant spin and play up their independent streak and objective bent. This approach will help meet an ethical imperative of feeding the public with free, fair, accurate, balanced, and comprehensive information with which they will make reasoned decisions. It goes without saying that the Media Capacity Enhancement Program promises an iconic turning point in journalism practice in Ghana. In a wider context, the GJ proposes that this program be executed in tandem with pragmatic steps to improve the working conditions of journalists. Dwindling revenue stream and swinging expenditure cuts induced, of course, by COVID-19 have conspired to make an already bad situation worse for majority of media houses and their workers. While public sector workers fight for premium salaries, the minimum wage is a luxury for a countless number of journalists who have even not been paid for months. The International Federation of Journalists reminds us poignantly that there can be no press freedom if journalists live in conditions of poverty, fear, and corruption. The causal nexus between flip-flop poverty and below-par performance in certain media circles underlines the need to address the salary issue of journalists with urgent promptitude. Your Royal Majesty, Honorable Minister of Information, Honorable Regional Minister, resource persons, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our orientation is different. Our backgrounds are diverse. However, our journey commitment to be bound by a single strand woven around the desire to use journalism to promote the economic upswing, social uplifts, democratic upsurge, and developmental upgrade of our dear nation, Ghana. This is a charge to keep. The sovereign Lord is our helper. I thank you for your attention. May our God of heaven bless us all.
President of the Ghana Journalists Association, Mr. Afel Moni. Thank you so much. And I like we invite the president of GIBA to give us a very, very brief remark. And I'm insisting on the very, so you can give us an executive summary of the speech, just the intro and the conclusion.
Your Royal Majesty, Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, the Honorable Minister for Information and MP for Fuasi Ayerbi, Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, Your Excellency, the U.S. Ambassador to Ghana, Stephanie Sullivan, the Honorable Ashanti Regional Minister Simon Osei Mensah, the Mayor of Kumasi, Mr. Payne, media leadership fraternity, invited guests, all protocols observed. The journey of today's event began sometime in the middle part of 2021, and like all journeys, has experienced its fair share of ups and downs, despite the troughs and peaks, and values the work we do and happens to be one of us, a thorough media practitioner. We cannot stress enough the importance of professionalism, ethical conduct, and balance in media practice, especially because as media practitioners, we constantly engaging with our audience, and it requires that we keep stories relevant to listeners, viewers, and readers. Unbiased, objective reporting helps strengthen the media and obtain the audience confidence while helping them to change their lives, paving the way for better community engagement and socio-economic development. In a rapidly changing technological world, the Ghana Independent Broadcasters Association, GIBA, puts a premium on effective communication skills in order
that it constitutes a lifeline to the survival of media organizations in the country. Your Royal Majesty, another critical issue worth paying attention to is the conditions of service and the welfare of media practitioners, both present and when we have gone on retirement. It is very pathetic, Your Majesty, the state in which we see some of our older colleagues when they go on retirement, with some becoming complete paupers and a burden to their families and friends, a development that is counterproductive to the growth of the media in Ghana and demotivating as far as attracting the critical minds into the media profession is concerned. Your Royal Majesty, now that the government and other media stakeholders have instituted moves to support Ghana's ailing media, may I respectfully use this platform to call on the government and all the national media groupings and associations, as well as other stakeholders, to consider empowering the working committee to also find ways of instituting a pension or retirement scheme for all media practitioners, into which scheme practitioners will be asked to make contributions to safeguard our future in times of need when we are no more in active practice. Your Majesty, there is no gainsaying the fact that the media are the fulcrum around which Ghana's democracy and development revolve. But the honest reality of today is that we are operating against a myriad of factors that have made it difficult for us to carry out our constitutional mandate as the fourth estate of the realm, by holding our leaders to account and to also play our watchdog role effectively. And I humbly call on all media stakeholders in this country, particularly the government, to lead the discussion as to finding ways of strengthening the Ghanaian media without necessarily compromising their independence in the supreme interest of Mother Ghana. Your Royal Majesty, Minister of Information, if we ignore these problems, we may risk pumping resources into this series of laudable and all-important training programs, only for the beneficiaries to become redundant, because there are no media houses in which to work, in view of the fact that they might all have collapsed. Your Royal Majesty, let me end my address by once again, on behalf of PRIMPA, commending all those who have made this maiden media capacity enhancement program a reality. I wish all of us a very successful training program. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Another round of applause for the president of PRIMPAC, Mr. Andrews Edwin Arthur. It's good to see so many familiar faces here. Oparijan, I saw Oparijan somewhere. Happy New Year, Oparijan. And of course, we have the Ashanti Regional Communication Director of the NPP, Dr. Kwesiche, also here for this meeting edition of Media Capacity Enhancement. The last time that I saw a presentation from Malco was very brief, very short, and he can use just one word to sum up everything. So I'd like to invite the president of the Institute of Public Relations, Ghana, Malco Avegeno, to give us just brief remark.
Your Royal Majesty, Otumfuo Seititu, His Excellency the U.S. Ambassador to Ghana, the Honorable Minister for Information, the Chair of MCEP Working Committee, the Chair Ghana Media Commission, Honorable Regional Minister, Honorable Deputy Minister, colleagues in the media, all protocols observed. I am not too sure whether the significance of today is so immediately obvious to all of us, and whether the strong sense of history is coming true. But as a young boy growing here some 40 plus years ago, excellence in journalism was symbolized by a newspaper called the Kumasi Pioneer. Excellence in journalism was embodied by a personality I see seated across. The then MD of the Graphic Corporation, Mr. Kofi Bedu. Excellence in journalism reflected in the depth of discussions that took place all around me, in small spaces, even when we were playing draft. And I believe that today, in a sense, is tapping into that deep sense of history. It flows out of a certain recognition that the media reflects society. What we see in the media to a large extent is what we are as a people. And that is the narrative that this program was put together by an extremely enterprising Minister of State, our dear Minister of Information, Mr. Kojo Nkrumah, has been able to initiate, and that we are adoring here. And the truth of the matter is that every morning in this country, millions of our countrymen get up and their mood for the day, the energy for that entire 24 hours is shaped by what they listen to on radio, what they read on social media, the content they engage with. And individuals here have the capacity to influence that mood, that perception of our country, that belief in Ghana, that energy and drive that gives us hope, and the belief that Ghana is the country to belong to, and that every single action of us has consequences over and beyond what we think. And that is why this training is so important. And that's why I'm so glad it's happening here. Of all places, this is the only place it must happen. Now, to the first set of beneficiaries, to whom much is expected, much is given, much is expected. And we are believing that you are going to go out there and be change agents. See, I work in the communication industry, and I recognize that in every country, development hinges on quality communication in the country, because it's the gel that holds us together. It's the beam that brings us together. It's the source of our inspiration as a country. And we definitely have the chance, I dare say the biggest chance in history, to make it right. But you see, where the rewards are greatest, the risks are also highest. And that's the reason why capacity building, training, continuous learning, improving ourselves is so very essential. I can't be happier than I am today that we are here. And you have the greatest support of the Ghana Institute of Public Relations, whom I represent. We believe in this country. We believe in our journalists. We believe that tomorrow, starting from today, with the learning and the application of the knowledge, we are going to be the difference makers. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Malco Afajenu. And you know, that's the reason I need to participate again in the Stambik Africa Media Forum. It's very important. Your Majesty, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's time to invite Her Excellency Stephanie Sullivan, the U.S. Ambassador to Ghana, to give us a remark. A round of applause.
Your Royal Majesty, Otumfo Osei Tutu II, Honorable Minister of Information, Kojo Nkrumah, Honorable Ashanti Regional Minister, Simon Osei-Mensah, and all other ministers, Professor Kwamina Quansah-Edu, Rector of the Ghana Institute of Journalism and Chairman of the Working Committee, media professionals, Nananum. In the interest of time, I ask to stand on all previous protocols. I hope the MC heard that. I'm so pleased to be here with you at the invitation of His Royal Majesty, the Asante Hene, and the Minister of Information. Thank you for your kind invitation to participate. Today kicks off a very important program for Ghana, one that will strengthen press freedom and overall accountability. Freedom of speech, freedom to assemble, and freedom of the press are fundamental principles for every democracy. Without even one of these, democracy cannot long survive. Current public policy debates so that voters can make informed decisions. It's been said that information is the currency of democracy, and that's where you, the journalists, come in. Your role as journalists is fundamental to public debate on key issues. With a stroke of the pen, you can highlight a public problem or injustice. You can show people how public policy is working or isn't working. You can hold government and public officials accountable to their promises. You can ask tough questions that demand answers. And you can follow up to verify follow-through or lack thereof. But with that power, as we've just heard, comes great responsibility. It's essential to do your research. Check and double-check your sources. Seek a different perspective. Don't be misled by a Kwaku Anansi who gives you only one side of a story. We are all better served by a well-rounded, fact-based body of reporting that allows the public to hear all sides. And often that means not being the first to break the news. With strong and professional reporting, you can bring balance to public policy debates. You can remove emotion and replace it with facts that let us all participate in democracy. You can give a voice to all sides in a debate, even if you personally disagree with some views. The United States is an ardent defender of a free and responsible and safe press. We at the U.S. Embassy in Accra support various programs throughout the year that strengthen press freedom and also strengthen journalism as a profession, because we too believe that accurate information is the currency of democracy. To that end, if you permit a public service announcement, we have just released our annual call for funding proposals, including programs that promote press freedom, media literacy, and combating disinformation and misinformation. The deadline to submit statements of interest is February 1st. I hope some of you will consider applying for this opportunity. I'd like to